All right, so this is a SCP article that's actually gone right now. It's deleted. So I don't know when it was deleted, but we shall use the Wayback Machine. I do apologize. Kalinin. That is your article. I understand you wanted it to be gone for a while now. I will read it, and if you see this video and you're like, hey, I prefer if you don't have this publicly shown, I will private it for myself, to keep it for myself, and I will respect your wishes. But right now, let me check. I think the best way to, I think just going back to 2022 should be good enough. Maybe, I don't know. Because again, I don't know when it got deleted. There's no way to like really check. Alright, I'm here, and it's there, called This Dying World. Now, just to be curious, I'm going to actually go to 2024 just to see if it's still there. But I think it should be. Not. I mean, it might not be there anymore, but no, it's still okay. So it's still This Dying World. That's what it's called. Okay. Again, calling in, pardon. If there's any problem, just contact me in the comments. I'll see it, and I'll make sure to like get rid of it. Okay, it's a little bit weird looking on Wayback Machine right now. Nothing really you can do about it though. It's just how Wayback Machine works. I'm gonna refresh it one more time and see if that works. Nope. Okay. Let's get started. Area of SCP-2798 effect overlaid on Earth's magnetic field. Thawmill. Hey, Thawmill. Cool. The site of Zambezi Super Deep Borehole, designated as Site 2, is owned and operated by Energy Namur NF, a Belgian energy exploration firm and Foundation Front organization. All operations at Zambezi are to be disguised as natural gas extraction activities to potential observers and the government of Mozambique. While measurement and detection of SCP-2798 is not believed to be possible without proprietary Foundation technology, Site 2 staff are to monitor geological and seismological journals and institutions for any signs of possible SCP-2798 detection. Secondary effects of SCP-2798 of the environment and human health are anomalous and thus unlikely to be linked to Foundation activities. Therefore, information suppression resources are to be prioritized for containing direct observation of SCP-2798. Periodic monitoring of SCP-2798 is to be performed at least once every 3 months, with all data transmitted immediately upon collection to Overwatch Command. Now, description. SCP-2798 is an anomalous energy field generated by Earth since 1971. SCP-2798 is the result of Foundation project initiated in 1954 and completed in 1971, designated to contain SCP-001. SCP-2798 has been partially successful in ameliorating the effects of SCP-001. However, the intensity of SCP-2798 has been decreasing at a geometric rate since 2005. And is expected to fail entirely in the near future. See addendum 2798.5. The primary effect of SCP-2798 has been to disrupt the influence of SCP-001 on Earth and its inhabitants. SCP-2798 has a number of secondary effects, many of which are profoundly harmful to significant numbers of people. This effect, however, has been determined to be less harmful in total than a failure of containment of SB-01. And here we have Site 2, the Zambezi super deep borehole 15 kilometers offshore from Mozambique. SB-2798 is believed to interfere with the effects of SB-01 by causing it to perceive Earth as a single living entity. This perception is theorized to affect the intent of SB-01 and reduce the focus of its actions. The scientific principle by which this is achieved are unknown at this time. Addendum 1. Project Serapis history. After discovery and classification of SB-01 in 1953, approval for deployment of several SCP classified anomalous objects were granted by the Overwatch Command Subcommittee for Emergency Containment. These objects were used in the course of Project Serapis and an initiative to contain SB-01 by means of interfering with the entity's perception of Earth. Researchers determined that this could be best accomplished by generating an energy field encompassing the planets designed to provide the appearance of a single sentient being. SB objects were employed as follows. SB-158, approved for use in generating precursor chemicals for eventual refinement into compound C21 violet. Initial approval given for production of 10,000 cubic meters of precursor, later increased to 250,000 cubic meters. SB-1921, basis of design for equipment used in refinement of compound C21 violet, utilizing principles of chemical reactions involving anomalous substances and alteration of cognitive functions over distance and area. SB-447, amount of refined -2 used as catalyst during compound Z21 violet synthesis to exponentially enhance area of effect. SB-310, material generated by anomaly employed as extreme heat retardant additive for compound Z21 violet, enabling substance to persist within the upper limit mantle on an indefinite basis. SB-2570, corpse of recently deceased musician Django Reinhardt, removed from containment and appropriated for use in a specially modified drilling mechanism utilizing the corrosive substance constantly generated by the dimensional pole correlated with the corpse before reaching to the Earth's upper mantle. Successfully completed by November 1953. The anomaly later appeared to be more advanced iteration in connection with musician Adam York upon his death in 2012. SB-1714, advanced fluid dynamics models derived from SB-2794, applied to injection of compound C21 violet into the upper mantle to ensure a continuous flow and maximum extent of SB-2798 energy field. And here we have compound C21 violet in process of refinement. Precursor generated by SB-158 was initially sourced from cattle stocks in the course of development of compound C21 violet. However, this source was found to result in insufficient generation of required energy levels during tests. Consequently, an agreement was ready with carbon patents within the government of the United Kingdom to provide sources for precursor concurrent with the aftermath of several military engagement in British Kenya. Details of this agreement remained sealed. Approximately 1,400 cubic meters of compound C21 violet synthesized using an anomalous method using a complete Zambezi super deep borehole off the coast of Mozambique, publicly only stated to reach a depth of 9,322 meters. All stocks of compound C21 violet were pumped into Earth's upper mantle. Forces of mantle convection carried a steady stream of the compound throughout the planet, and SB-2798 was declared operational by early 1954. Addendum 2, major secondary effects of SB-2798. The presence of SB-2798 surrounding Earth has led to many documented anomalous phenomena affecting human society. These effects are to be ameliorated to the maximum extent possible. Using Foundation resources, however, priority of resource allocation remains focused on research into possible means of extending the duration of SCP-2798. The following are the most prominent and observable secondary effects of SCP-2798. Transcendent identity disorder. This mental disorder was discovered by Foundation researchers in the early 1960s. Indistinguishable from scientifically understood dissociative identity disorder for medical professionals outside of the Foundation. Transcendent identity disorder is a condition in which an individual periodically shares memories, experience, thoughts, and sensory input generated by another individual who remains unaware that the sufferer is affected. Incidence rates of this disorder have been proven to track with fluctuation in the intensity of SCP-2798, which is believed to cause the disorder in sensitive individuals due to its large-scale chemical and anomalous effects on the perception of self across multiple types of intelligent entity. Patients with transcendent identity disorder are treated by mainstream psychiatry in the same manner as those with non-anomalous dissociative identity disorder. The incidence rate on average is believed to be approximately 0.03% of the world population, with the majority of cases observed within 500 kilometers of the Zambezi super deep borehole known to even exist. Erosion of belief in organized action. Advanced mathematical analysis ongoing since 1972 suggests that SCP-2798 is responsible for a statistically significant effect on the world population willingness to participate in large-scale coordinated action. This effect thus far only observable on level of the nation, state, world. Using a variety of criteria such as voter turnout rates, instability indicators, proportional share of representation in reactionary political parties in world legislatures, and occurrences of violence directed at the state, researchers have established a relation between these factors and the intensity of SCP-2798. Temporary increase in the power of SCP-2798 are believed to have influenced the outcome of several preliminary elections, resulting most notably in a projected 2-seat increase for the Golden Dawn Party in the Greek parliamentary election of May 2012, and the success of a vote of no confidence against UK Prime Minister James Callaghan in 1979. While researchers have projected the reduction of this effect as possible mitigating factor in the eventual failure of SCP-2798, this particular influence appears to have permanently affected political landscapes worldwide since the early 2010s, and thus no increase in societal stability may be expected from the cessation of this containment measure. Propagation of anomalous energy fields in other celestial bodies. Instrumentation developed via anomalous means for the detection and measurement of SCP-2798 began to register data for the Moon in 1979. This was followed by detectable fields around Mars in 1981, Saturn in 1992, and Comet 33D/Coma in 2003, detected while the object was in orbit beyond Pluto. The field around the Moon was observed to deteriorate rapidly and disappear entirely within the space of 3 weeks in 2005. To date, this is the only known occurrence of an observed field undergoing complete decay. How these fields manifested is unknown due to the much lower energy levels measured for these extraterrestrial fields. Researchers believe that they do not exhibit the effect of SCP-2798 upon SCP-001. It sounds like this, everything's just vanishing around them. The relation between the decay of the lunar field and the sudden deterioration of SCP-2798 cannot be established with current researchers' capabilities, but is strongly suspected to exist. And then we have TS 2798 eyes only. Oh god, there's more. I didn't know how much more because I was like, this is the only one that I don't have any information how long it's gonna be. Addendum 3 is suppressed communication regarding SCP-2798. SCP-2798 has generated a number of public informational risks related to a second The effects documented but to be more likely to occur during periods of increased energy intensity. This is theorized to be due to the omnipresent nature of SCP-2798 and its poorly understood effect on mass consciousness. Below is a selected log of public documentation believed to be attributable in SCP-2798, suppressed either prior to or shortly after appearing. Item 2798.3.4 UPI wire service article. Let me see something real quick. Is she still online? Nope, she's done. Comments documented concurrently with heightened measurable energy levels occurring 70 kilometers over the vicinity of Ontario, Canada. Authorities detained Ontario man found in hole. Kitchener, Ontario, August 30. UPI police in Kitchener have detained a man found Saturday evening in a 10-foot deep hole that he had reportedly dug in a vacant lot in the city Breithaupt Park neighborhood after passerby had reported the incident. Witnesses at the scene described the man taking a hole with a spade at a frantic pace in the late evening hours, refusing to acknowledge any attempts at communication and described as highly agitated. Police were summoned and the man reportedly started a portable auger drill that he had taken the hole with him. Emergency responders were later called to cordon off the area after an unknown chemical substance was found in the hole. A spokesperson for the Waterloo Regional Police Service confirmed that the man, whose name has not been released as of press time, has been remanded for a psychiatric evaluation. just digging holes. You know how it goes, just digging holes. Item 2798.3.15 Quad Cities Model Train. Okay. Train Society Newsletter Comments 1978 newsletter distributed on a quarterly basis to members of the Quad City Models Train Society in the Midwestern United States. Unusual nature of contents resulted in the local reproduction and circulation among several hundred individuals before information suppression procedures were executed. Fellow engineers, thanks to Fred Monroe for coordinating our 5th annual public exhibition day at the Centennial Park. It was a fine day to display some of the portable track exhibits we've been working on. The event was a real whopper. Miles under our feet, everything we have ever known has been taught that life is a curse. Special thanks to Cub Scout Troop 497 for helping to set up. If you're like me, you're excited for the new Lionel N. Gauge Scenic Vistas range of landscape materials and models. I've gotten word that Bill Games and Hobbies is going to get this bang up new line on the shelves by the new year. 8,000 souls have been melted down to create an obscenity that we cling to until vengeance comes. Tell Bill that you're a member and get 5% off. Congratulations to our buddies Jim Lucas, who's retiring after 30 years at the bottling plant and will be lucky enough to die before the end comes. Best wishes to him and Cynthia on the new life in sunny Florida. And a reminder to go check out his Needle Southern Pacific line in his rec room. Did you know a rotting corpse will attract living predators? It is better to putrefy for 100 generations than to die screaming once. Happy spring birthday to Harry S. 47, George B. 55, and Dwight E. 42. Item 2798.3.27 Anonymous Flyer Distribution, Karachi, Pakistan. Comments: 37 leaflets written in Urdu distributed in front of homes in the Farooq-e-Azam Union Council of Karachi sometimes prior to the morning of 27 November 1968. Which came to the attention of local authorities to the perceived anti-government content. Attention, all on people, tomb at the center of the earth, open the gates if mercy is upon you. All are one, and I have scratched at the coffin until our nails came off. It sees me, open the gates. Is that why the person was like trying to dig really quickly down? Item 2798.3.41 Internet Forum Exchange. Note: a conversation on a subforum used by the members of Internet dating site, flagged by automated search protocols and removed in accordance with electronic information suppression protocols. So we have H section living location. Yeah, H section location. 37, dude. Hey. Hey, are you local? Are you local? I was Keone. Hello, what's that? I was Keone. They ripped me apart and buried me living. Buried me living. I was beautiful and I'm everywhere now. Okay, that's a little weird. Do you want to fuck me? Hey, what the fuck? I didn't tell you my name. How do you know that? It's okay. I used to like doing that when I was. Wait, is there like hidden text there? No, right? Nope. I'm everywhere now. You want to know what this is like? It's like being held down and fought by thousands of people at once. Why won't it let me close this? What the hell? I screamed with their voices. Now I was Akina. It's like being thousands of people at once too. It doesn't stop. Do you want to know what therapist is? I'm pulling the plug on the computer now. Please leave me alone. Has signed out 21/3. Dig a hole. You can hear me scream with all voices. Dig in, this world will be yours. Hard. Gear 51513 has signed out 259. Well, damn. Then 4 post SCP-2798 contingency plans. Number 1 summary: mass evacuation of Earth to nearby planets. Disposition rejected. 2 to 11 technologically infeasible. Yeah, like how are you supposed to like mass evacuate everybody? Because plan number 2, negotiation with SB-01 rejected. 5 to 8 unworkable. Number 3, systematic anomalous weaponization program. 11/12/2015 approved. 12 to 1, so one person was like nah. 24th 1st 2016 rejected. Oh, now it's everybody saying no. So something must have happened in that 1 year. Well, it wasn't even like a year. It was like a month and a half. And you're like, okay, no, we're not going to do that again. Number 4, contingency 4 or con 4, protected therapist 2 rejected. 3 to 10 escalated secondary effects intolerable. Con 5, targeted waveform collapse. Con 6, worldwide distribution of potassium cyanide ampules, well, pending. And the last one. And then number 5, project cessation of SCP-2798. SCP-2798 is currently projected to cease activity in. I assume this is supposed to like. Yeah, looks like there was like a countdown thing, but it doesn't work sadly because the page is gone. Okay. Well, that was not too bad though. That was kind of nice. Well, the author wanted to be removed, so they requested for it to be removed. Not sure why. Don't know why. There was parts confusing for me, but also parts fun to read. So I mean, maybe it has maybe because it's just deep. Maybe they're just not proud of it, or maybe they just like not really my thing anymore. Don't really want to show people that work. Maybe it's not the best work, and they just kind of like leave me alone with that. I don't want to look at that again. Maybe it's just a little bit too heavily reliant on O1. It's not really reliant on O1 because the story still makes sense without knowing what O1 is. You can you still understand it, but maybe they felt like I'm mentioning O1 a couple times and never really dive into it, and like that would change the whole story if I were to like explain that. Maybe, who knows? I don't know why. But it's not a bad one. It's not like it's something like I feel like somebody should be like, oh, I can't have this. I can't have this around here. Oh wait. There we go. But yeah, that's SCP. Let's go.